It is my total pleasure to be here today with two women I like to refer to as Pippa Squared. We have Pippa Vosper and Pippa Bennett-Warner. And the reason that you're here today is because you are talking about a phenomenal short film that you have both created. To give you your official titles, Pippa Vosper, you are the creator, the lead producer and the co-writer of 22+1. Pippa Bennett-Warner, you are the director, co-writer and the lead actor. So not even triple threats, like quintuple threats. And you are here to talk about 22+1 and something very special that you want to say. Pippa Vosper, can I come to you first?
Sure.
What was the process of making this film for you? Because you had gone through a very traumatic experience that I know will speak to so many people who follow us on Instagram, but also who listen to this podcast. And you had turned that pain into this great, generous gift of a book that you'd written about the experience. Tell us a little bit about what you went through and why you wanted to write the book and then make this film.
So in 2017, I gave birth to my baby at 5 months in my bathroom, and he was alive and then sadly died because, his organs weren't ready to be out in the world. And from that, I wrote an article that got a lot of attention and then was asked to write a book, but I wasn't ready. It was too soon after the death of my baby boy, Axel. And then through COVID, I did end up writing the book Beyond Grief. And in that process, I interviewed 400 women who, because it was COVID, were readily available to talk to me, which was a lovely experience, Zooming with everyone. And I interviewed women up and down the country, and it became very clear very quickly that the Black maternal experience was deeply layered to that of the white woman's experience. And I believe in everything in life, you're given these opportunities and experiences and information for a reason. And if you can do something with that makes things possibly better for other people, then I believe you should use that opportunity. So I knew as a white woman, I couldn't take this forward myself. So I immediately called my great friend Pippa and I said, look, as a woman of colour, in the position you're in as an actor, I believe that a film is going to be the best medium to get this message out to as many people as we possibly can, because not everyone's going to pick up a research paper or a book and understand what really is going on. But I know everybody will likely watch a short film. And that's how it happened.
Mm-hmm. And the process of creating 22+1 and acting in it, Pippa, what was that like for you and why was it important for you to tell this particular story?
I think, it's a sort of a mixture of things. First of all, the kind of practical bit of being part of the creative team in terms of the story and the characters and stuff. And then directing and acting, the acting's always been my day job, so I kind of knew what to do. But Pippa was the one actually who called me and she was like, I think you need to direct it, because directing was not something that I was ever really wanting to do. And then she called me one day and she was like, I think you should direct. And I was like, oh, okay. Okay. And we've, it's been the most amazing 5 years, but I always go back to the same thing about allyship and Pippa gifting her lived experience to me and to women that look like me, and sort of trusting me with her sacred story and experience. And also, I had a responsibility as a Black woman to do women that look like me justice too. So it was a real mixture of things. And it wasn't always a straightforward process. There were lots of things I had to kind of learn actually from Pippa, because I wasn't fully aware of all of the statistics. I remember when she told me and I was floored.
And what are some of those statistics? Because it is really shocking, again, speaking as a white woman who has had her share of fertility experiences, but how often Black women are marginalised in this space. They are assumed to have higher pain thresholds, or they are not taken seriously when they flag something with the doctors. Yeah. What are some of the statistics that listeners can take away and viewers of this film will be able to take away?
So Black women are 4 times more likely to die during pregnancy. There's a sort of really old deeply infuriating stereotype that makes me so angry about stories that we've heard from our friends and family members who, during their pregnancies have been denied pain relief because of this stereotype that, Black women are not allowed to be vulnerable and not allowed to, always have to be strong. And especially in moments of absolute vulnerability, they are denied, basic sort of human rights, if you like. Mm-hmm. So yes, those are the kind of main things that we're dealing with.
And why is it called 22+1, Pippa Vosper?
In the film, the nurse comes in and says 22 weeks plus 1 day, which is the time of loss where our mother Ruby loses the baby in pregnancy.
And I have to say, as someone who was lucky enough to see this movie in January, it is a short film, but it packs such a powerful and resonant punch. And for anyone wondering whether it is for them, I absolutely say yes, it is. Either you will have been through something similar and you will see your experience reflected on screen in a way that is so vanishingly rare, mm-hmm. or you haven't been through something similar and you need to understand this story. It is an extraordinarily powerful piece of filmmaking. I'm so proud to know you both, and I'm so proud of what you have done with this film and where you've taken it. And there's something that you want to announce today, isn't there?
Well, we made the film and it's taken 5 years to get to this point. And we didn't want to go the usual route of distribution and exclusivity, and you have to have a subscription to be able to view this film. We made it for the women that it's affecting and the families of those women that it's affecting, and people that maybe just want to know more about pregnancy loss and what's happening in not only the UK, but globally. Black women are treated differently in maternal spaces. So we are going to release the film this week, and we hope everybody can watch it and take something from it and really connect with it in the way that we hoped they would when we decided to make it.
Everybody has 20 minutes, and hopefully through the power of film, you will be encouraged to feel something, and hopefully with those feelings, you will want to join us in our movement for change. The film is available now to watch.
And you can get details of how to watch that in the caption. And if you're listening to this on Failing with Friends, we'll put the details in the show notes. But thank you so, so much for coming into the How to Fail studio today and for sharing this with us. Just going back to that screening in January, I was so powerfully moved by it. There were tears, but there was also a sense of resolution that this should not be allowed to happen without question. And that for me is what powerful art does and what powerful performances do and powerful direction do. And I know that it wasn't easy to make. So I just want to salute both of your efforts. Thank you both so much for being two such powerful advocates in this space. It is so necessary. It is so essential, the work that you do. And I can't wait for everyone to discover your film.
Thank you so much. Thank you.